soon-to-be ex-husband just pulled up to my house in a brand new truck, and I'm not really sure if I'm sad about it or if I'm mad about it. There's a little bit of both happening there, because a brand new truck really mattered more to this man than his marriage and his dog.
All men appreciate their trucks and dream of owning a powerful one. And to a man, a dog is and will always be his best friend.
Which, I mean, if he wants to be the loser that lives in an apartment with a brand new car, then by all means be my guest.
Correction, that's called a successful man.
All he's doing is showing me that he really was a financial burden on me and that I should not keep him around. One of the most consistent arguments we had was that he wanted a brand new $100,000 truck.
So imagine wanting to buy your dream car, truck, or bike, and she calls it a red flag.
And trust me when I say we are not in the tax bracket to be having a $100,000 truck, nor does he have a real use for that car, especially now that he lives in an apartment. The car that he has been driving up until this point is my car. He didn't own a car when he decided to up and skip out, and I was nice enough to let him borrow my car, which, you know what, I shouldn't have been, and I should have just left him stranded, apparently.
That's why most men never ask for help, because sometimes people would rub it in their faces, like in this case.
Since I guess a truck was more important than his wife, but I guess now I get my car back. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I'm borrowing one from my parents. I don't know if I'm just gonna keep that one and get rid of it, but I've had a car because my parents are supportive and his parents like to scam money out of him.
That's not the case. The reality is that the man likes to help out his family when he can, and she just can't handle it. So this lady's ex moved on and got himself a new partner. And she called that cheating.
He cheated on me with her and now they're married. He got a girlfriend first. I'm trying to heal and he already moved on.
That's what life's all about. No one is stopping for you.
Guys. You can't forget the point. The point is not who gets married first. The point is not who moves on faster. The point is you finding happiness.
From the looks of it, that man found it first. Good for him.
It does not matter what they do and in what order. And not only that, but marriage does not mean happiness.
For a man, if he finds someone loyal, it sure means happiness.
Marriage means marriage. You can be married to the wrong person. You can rush into a situation not being healed and end up with the wrong person in an unhappy, unhealed place. Marriage doesn't mean they won. It means they got married.
That man made a mistake first and afterward corrected it, moved on, and succeeded.
The goal is that everyone finds who they are meant to be with. Your ex deserves to heal and find who they're meant to be with. My ex, my abusive ex, deserves to heal and find who he's meant to be with.
I am not generalizing, and with all due respect, why do they always call men who leave abusive? Have you ever heard a man call his ex abusive? Never, even if she was.
I don't know if he ever will, because it's on him to heal. And it's his job to seek healing and heal past wounds and find a partner that's meant for him. That's on him. But I want that for him. I don't care how much he hurt me. I want him to find healing and happiness.
Sometimes they say that because they want it for themselves too.
And it was on me to heal and find my happiness. And it wasn't in a rush, and it wasn't because I was comparing myself to his new girlfriend.
I'm sure all of this is because she found out about his new partner.
It was because I wanted to find my true happiness, and my happiness was first in healing myself, my relationship with myself, and my self-worth. And once I healed that, I could go on to find my soulmate.
And that man was 2 steps ahead of that.
It doesn't matter what they're doing, and if they're married or in a relationship or with someone new.
If that's the case, I wonder why she still follows his life. Men just want peace and respect. So true, so few women get it. Looks are what men are attracted to initially, but peace is what men want in a long-term relationship.
That men who exit a long-term relationship are committed or even married within 1 or 2 years.
If a man never finds his comfort, he will walk away no matter what.
It's not so much about what you did wrong, but about what the next girl did right. It's not that rare that 2 people sit it out in a long-term relationship when they're actually incompatible. And when he was finally ready to get married, he realized it wasn't you he...
Not really. If men exit, it means their partner did a mistake, because men always want peace. So if it's not there, he has no interest.
Care about your kids' well-being if you're literally putting them in a position with their mother that she's struggling and you don't give a fuck and you just pay bare minimum child support. Like, ooh, thanks. I can literally wipe my with that.
What do you mean child support is for the children, not their mother?
They're just like, I'm good. I got work. I got to focus on me. I got to focus on my career. So what about me? You're a fully capable adult and I'm having a really hard time finding a job because who's going to hire me 5 days a week at 5 to 4 hours?
This is what they deal with while a man is on his success. That's something you've got to figure out, not the man.
And my kids have random days off of school. They're always sick. My kid's dad never up his phone. He never answers me when it comes to anything with the kids. He would never answer anything from the school. It's literally me. I'm the only parent. And you know what he does? He takes them to the pool on the weekends.
At least he spends quality time with them and provides for them. And that's more important in my book.
So selfish. Oh, but I live in the city. I got to go to the bars. Okay. Well, your brain is like a dog's brain. And when I talk to you, it's like this.
This looks personal.
I'm so over it. And thank God he agreed to get them every weekend during the summer.
Of course he will. A man will go that far for his kids.
But I still have to work Friday, Saturday, Sunday, doubles, hopefully, and maybe I'll have a chance to pay my bills. Maybe.
I don't understand what's the point of this. He's not going to pay for her. He will only take care of his children. And that seems to make her angry.
I don't even care. People are like, oh, don't put your business. I don't care. I don't care about putting my business online. I literally could give two.
That's the difference. He put his all into that job, and it paid off in the end. Living alone with peace of mind is a beautiful thing, especially when you permanently walk away from your ex. Peace, tranquility, quiet, privacy, and space. That's all we desire.
So when my husband and I divorced, he started dating a woman that he worked with. They are now happily married now. And the day that I met her, I welcomed her with open arms. It looked like she was going to be a part of our family and she was going to be in my kid's life. So I wanted us to have an easy transition.
I can tell that something wrong went down.
At least kindness between us. But then the kids started telling me all the things that they were doing together that he didn't do with me. Like lots of cuddling and public displays of affection. And there was a little voice in my head that thought, what the hell? How come he never did that with me for 20 years?
This shows she didn't move on.
But then I realized we married the wrong person. When you marry the right person who you're compatible with, each person is going to behave differently than how they would behave if they were in a relationship with the wrong person. I recognized that they were much more compatible than he and I were.
This is often a way of coping with the pain and not admitting it, because if we look at it logically, the fact that she still talks about this means she hasn't fully moved on.
So did I get angry that he and her are happy? Absolutely.
See, this is what I meant.
It makes perfect sense. He and I were in an arranged marriage through a prophet in our church. We never really fell in love. And I believe that a lot of people get into arranged marriages and they're not marrying because they actually love each other. They're marrying because they got pregnant.
Thank God that guy finally found his happiness.
Women use the we don't care what men want, we're going to be who we are, and we're going to talk about our feelings. Whatever. You can say whatever you want, but then you can also wonder why you're not in a relationship you want to be in.
Because men won't argue. They will just walk away.
Or why you always pick the assholes. How all of your exes are toxic, but you refuse to look at the way that you act, or the men that you're picking.
And they only see when he goes and succeeds, wondering why.
Okay, I read my DMs. I know how it really goes. I will tell you that men will be attracted to having a peaceful woman over having a beautiful woman. Quit trying to be beautiful.
Men want peace, and that's it.
Just met up with my ex-husband to exchange our son, and I found out that my toddler has been calling my ex-husband's new wife Mama. So when he said it in the car, I was like, huh?
She was confused. Just look at her eyes.
So I marched my butt back over to the car where he was, and I said, has Ryder been calling her Mama? And he said, yeah. Why? He said, because she is his mom when you're not there.
And that's maybe why that man picked her too.
I said, she is not his mom. He said, she is when you're not there.
Being single equals peace plus no drama. That's why they will continue alone.
But men often are not getting into marriage for the fairy tale. They're getting into marriage for the services, for the status, because they oughta.
And they can even live without it pretty greatly.
And women don't know that. That's never ever talked about anywhere. And that's why so many men are angry about women saying these things on places like TikTok or other social media platforms, because the truth is now coming out.
That makes no sense.
And women are now able to make choices for their future that are far more informed, that benefit them.
And further makes them more and more alone.
She is not withholding sex from you. I am a divorced woman. I will tell you why the sex has stopped and why the dead bedroom has begun. You remind her too much of her small children.
Some women will use this as a sort of punishment for their husbands. And if you ask me, it is pretty sick.
All day long, she's at home, can barely take a shower, brush her teeth, or take a in peace without somebody screaming and crying.
What gets me about this mindset is how the fuck do we emasculate your husband to the point that you're using and dangling sex in front of him like he's a fucking child, and then get mad at him for acting childlike?
No wonder a man will walk away in that situation.
And basically, if he's not on good behavior, he doesn't get a reward. I mean, let's be so for real. At this point, some of y'all just need to start a color chart, and every time he's on blue or purple, which is good behavior, that means he can get some kind of sex, because that's how y'all treat it.
And men are done being treated like this.
Women will almost never acknowledge the part that they play in it, where they manipulate a man by dangling sex in front of him until they win him over, and then once they get settled in and real life happens, she stops having sex because she faked her entire personality to win you over. Only then, later on, she can use it against you and say that you're controlling her through sex.
It's rare when we hear about this topic, but it happens a lot. And when a man speaks out about this, he's considered bad.
That you're coercing her, that you're forcing her, that you're not emotionally available, you're rude, you're selfish for initiating, even though she set the standard to begin with. Oh, right, but, faking your entire personality and how much sex you want to have in a relationship just to win a man over isn't manipulative at all. Okay. And I don't know what woman needs to understand this.
To be honest, this should be considered a crime. And they wonder why a man is happy once he leaves.
But if you're withholding sex to get your husband or your boyfriend to act a certain way, you're being manipulative as fuck, you're emasculating him, you're not making him happy in the relationship, and he's not going to do things for you if you're going to make him feel like
One day, sooner than later, he will walk away.
He got married a year and a half after we broke up as well. So anytime I hear a man say like they haven't healed from their last relationship, I'm like, but my ex did it real quick, so I don't believe you.
What's there not to believe? He ended that chapter of his life and moved on as clear as crystal.
When I initially found out that 1, he got engaged, and then 2, he got married, of course it hurt my feelings. It hurt my feelings not because I was in love with him anymore, not that I loved him even. It was just the fact that I could not fathom the thought of already falling in love with somebody else already.
At least she had the courage to admit it.
The thing is, I could have been that girl. I could have been the one who got married and got the engagement ring, but I decided that I needed to break it off because he was not my person. And the hurt really comes from the idea that how could someone who said that they loved you move on so quickly and form another life with someone else that quickly?
It simply means that he's strong-willed and can live on his own independently, with or without her.
That's the piece that hurts. The sadness really isn't from the heartache anymore. It's just the fear that I may never meet someone or feel the feelings of falling in love again.
What I find hard is that this was her choice, and now she is the one who's struggling. Well, guys, that was all for today. We'll be back soon.